Everyone, what's happening? My name's Karath, and once again, I'm here bringing you a CGM preview of the finals. So, after the regular 5 week season is over, we have our 8 teams standing, and ta with the miracle of modern technology, here they are. So, Converge at the top, undefeated, alongside with Dismay. So, both undefeated in their groups. So, definitely interesting to see if they will meet up closer towards the finals or not. They are obviously seated on the other sides of the brackets. Then following on, we have Brimstone, who have a strong performance, and then a lot of teams in the middle of the pack, which is Rovers, Lucid, and Real Mint. So I think Rovers and Real Mint made it out of Group B. Lucid and Brimstone were out of Group A, as well as Team Arrays, and I think Team Arrays was in Group B, and Team Storm was Group A. I'm fairly sure. It's very difficult to actually go back and check now that things have just been pulled into one massive group. But yes, as you can see, the performances. I mean, the majority of the teams did earn the victory with, well, 3 or more victories. Team Wraith and Team Storm lucky to scrape through at the end. They will want to prove themselves that they are worthy enough, but they are up against some pretty tough opposition starting up. So if we look at the semi-finals bracket, you got Converge versus the Rays first up. Then we have Real Mint up against Lucid. Then Dismay up against, I think it's Dismay versus Storm, and there's Brimstone versus Rovers. And I think the pick of the first round, I would say, would most likely be Brimstone versus Rovers. Rovers very unlucky, I think, to go 3-2. They're definitely wanting to justify themselves, and I think Brimstone a bit unlucky to draw themselves the harder draw. But I think the team that will win that's a very hard one to pick, but I will have to go with Brimstone just a little bit over Rovers. I think in a best of 3, they should have the maps to take the advantage. Then up against Dismay and... See, this is probably when I put my OBS really small. I actually can't even see what I actually have on there. So Dismay versus Storm. Look, I like to say the Storm boys have a chance. I'm not sure if Brad G is back yet, but if they have not been able to practice and Brad G isn't back, I think this is going to be a very easy 2-0 towards Dismay. Dismay have been very dominant in the regular season. Then Real Men up against Lucid. So once again, a tight match just like Brimstone and Rovers, but I think given the way that Real Men will perform, I think Real Mint should be able to take it a 2-1 against Lucid. They just got to analyze the map pool closely and correctly. So yeah. And then the final one is going to be Converge versus Arrays. And I think even if the Arrays have picked up Kyoto, I don't think they'll be able to push past the firepower of Converge, and I think Converge will take that. In terms of the semi-finals, so my prediction will be Converge up against Real Mint. I mean, that is going to be another rematch, and I think Converge will come up on top of that. I think it's a rematch, but I think Converge will come up on top. Whereas, wait, it may not. It isn't a rematch. Sorry, it's their meeting for the first time. But I think Converge will take a 2-1 victory over Royal Mint in the semi-final bracket. Dismay up against Brimstone. Tough pick. I'd say Brimstone. I know Dismay ended at the top, but I think with the difference in practice schedules, I think Brimstone may have the 2-1 advantage, and then in the finals Converge up against Brimstone. I think Converge should be able to take it 2-1 as well. So there you have it. I think Converge will be the eventual champions. I know it's not very imaginative with the seedings, but that's what I believe. So third place match would be, I'm trying to remember. It's Dismay up against Real Mint. I think Dismay should be able to take that 1-2-1. So a bit generous from me saying that all teams will at least get a map maybe once it hits semi-finals, because I think teams will crack a little bit more and take it in towards the finals. Now, what are they fighting for? It is going to be a prize pool of the first place of $900, second place of $500, and a third place of $400. So bronze place match is still important. Still going to earn some mad Skrilla or get some dosh in the bank, so to speak. And of course, this entire season would not be possible without the CGPL support of the sponsors, which is M-Wave, Nvidia, MSI, AOC, Logitech, Turtle Beach, Netgear, AK Racing, and Plantronics. So a big shout out to all the sponsors who have made this season possible. And I think it's going to be starting next week, so it's going to be shaping up to be an amazing finals fever. We should be doing a CGI preview video soon, hopefully, depending on the situation. But most of the CGM and CGI action, hopefully, I'll be able to cast it live, assuming I have nothing else. Until then, take care, everyone, and I hope everyone is pracking hard and prepping themselves for a good bunch of matches.